We're here. Happy release day.
Hi.
Hi, Ava.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello. We just
Yay.
want to welcome everybody to our release day video launch interview with Ava. We are here. This is Ava Ward.
Hello.
My name's Sarah. I'm Ava's PA. We've
Sarah's
had a
amazing.
thanks, Ava. It's been super fun to get questions from all of you. We've been rounding up things that you want to ask Ava about the book, about the series, about her as an author. So we've got questions lined up. We're going to do a little chit-chatting about that. Hopefully you guys can comment and let us know your thoughts and any other questions you have. The whole point of this is just to connect with you guys. So
Yay.
anything to add to that, Ava? Should we just start
No,
answering
just
questions?
if you guys have questions or comments or anything during the video, just put them in the comments below. And if you have further questions you want to ask, we'll just answer them as the video rolls and maybe even do a second follow-up video if we get enough questions. So yeah, more of it
So
to come.
yes. Okay, great. I will give you question number one. So this came from Jennifer, and she says, where does your inspiration come from, and where did this love for dragon shifters start?
That's a cool question. I've always had really incredible dreams. So even way back when I started writing, I would just have these like dreams that felt like they lasted all night long. And I would get all this information, about characters and settings and, some kind of quest they were on and stuff. So that's basically where all of my ideas start for my books. And then I just explore that through writing and discover like where it's going and what these characters are and what I think they're doing. And eventually it becomes a story and a series.
Yeah.
Um, so Dragon Shifters in particular, I wasn't like a huge fan of Dragon Shifters when I first started writing this, but I really did enjoy shifters in general. I had
Mhm.
read a lot of vampire stuff and a lot of like wolf shifter stuff, but I had always been a huge epic fantasy fan. And of course, that comes with like dragons galore for like epic. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, dragon shifters are a thing?
Mhm.
Like, let's
Yeah.
do that.
I'm gonna
So
write that.
started doing it and it's been amazing. I think it's been some of the funnest stuff that I've written because you get to like have someone become a dragon and like how do dragons think and feel and act and what's the human side of that too. It's really fun.
Yeah, so this wasn't an author question, but this made me think a lot
Mhm.
of your fans probably learned about you through the Royal Dragon Shifters. And then this new series we're promoting today and talking about is connected to that, and they're all dragon shifters, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is a spin-off series from the Royal Dragon Shifters of Morocco. So Rukyava was a fan favorite character in that series, and she
Hmm.
was best friends with the main character from that series, who's named Layla Price.
Hmm.
So now Rukyava gets her very own series, and we get to explore like her whole life before she came to the Red Letter Hotel Paris in France.
Yeah,
That was all up in Sweden with her Dragon Shifter clan.
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
so people should know if they haven't read book one, this
Mhm.
is Rick Yava from the Royal Dragon series.
Yeah.
And they should be excited. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
And they get some cameos in book two here of other characters from
Mm,
the Royal Dragon series, which is fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, should we do question two? Let's see. This is from
Yeah.
Brian. Um,
Okay.
so Brian says, what made you give up your career to be an author full time? And maybe
Mm.
you can just let us know what you did before you were an author full
Yeah.
time.
So I was a primary care doctor with an emphasis on natural health care. And I practiced up in Seattle, Washington, and I had my own clinic with my husband and some other people. And it was exhausting. I really loved being a doctor. I really loved helping people, and using natural medicine, like really helped people get better, which was awesome. But I just found I was working, 70 hours a week. I was always at the clinic. I always had to be there for, emergencies and weekends and clinic admin and all of this, stuff for insurance and everything. And I was just over it. So after a certain point, I decided to sell my spot in that clinic and get out entirely. And I just had been writing for stress relief for a couple of years at that point and decided to give it a go. And here we are,
Here
a
you
couple,
are.
two pen names later. And how many years has it been? Gosh, 8 years now since then. So
It's
Still
incredible.
going. Still working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Brian had a follow-up to this. He said, after you, now that you're an author full time, have you had any moments that made you feel like you were going to quit?
Oh yeah, over and over and over and over again. I feel like writing is just a process of ups and downs. So, some things do really amazingly one year and then, kind of miss the mark the next year, or, everything is working with the marketing and then everything suddenly falls apart when like Facebook changes something with their ads platform or Amazon does. So
Hmm.
it's just constantly a process of adjusting to whatever's going on in the market and with public demand for writing. And, some books hit a lull because it's just the subject matter is not popular anymore for a while. And then they'll come back, 5, 10 years later and be super, super
Wow.
strong again. So it just kind of goes up and down. And there are plenty of times I've been crazy frustrated and wanted to just throw in the towel, but I keep going because I really love it. So
Yeah.
that's where I am now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, good. Hope that answered your questions, Brian. Thank you for those. Those are great.
Hmm.
Okay, there's more. So this was, let's see. Have you ever traveled anywhere and it immediately gave you an idea for a story? And
Yeah.
also, what about a person you've met?
Yeah. So I did travel somewhere and it gave me crazy ideas for a story. I went to Italy with my husband for our honeymoon way back. This was a number of years ago. And when I went to Rome and then Florence, I just had all of these amazing ideas start pouring into my head for a book. And so I started writing on that book, and it was originally titled Adia and Delio, and it was about this like um, uh, it'd be like a lawyer's daughter, essentially, kind of in 1800s Italy, and she meets this, princely figure, and they
Ooh,
sort of enter a sham courtship. So it was one of those things. But then it just sat on my shelf, essentially, in my laptop forever and ever. And then I eventually started looking at that material as feeder material for the Vampire Masters of Italy series. And so
okay.
all of those settings, all of those ideas got rolled into that series. And then the main character, Adia, kind of became the main character of that series.
Mhm.
Her name's Ariana.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff from Delio became her Fae Prince in that series, who is Luca
Ah,
Bellari.
Luca. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's kind of fun. It all found its way into a modern project that I'm getting on now.
Love that. And the Royal Dragon Shifters, there's these scenes and settings in your books are
Mhm.
happening in the Twilight realm, but they are often real places in the human world that you've either been or studied and are interested in, right?
Yeah, the Twilight realm closely mimics our own realm. So it has a lot of the same cities and even a lot of the same famous buildings and stuff. And so the idea is that they were built by magic in the Twilight realm
Ah,
before the idea came to the human world, usually to like build those places or those cities
okay.
or buildings. So yeah, Rome in the Twilight realm is very similar to Rome, in the human world, except
Ah,
magical. Paris is the same way, but sometimes they have slightly different names. And of course, there's magical creatures
right.
on the Twilight Realm side of things. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Good. Okay. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay, so can you tell us more about the world building process for the Dragons of Blood and Bone series?
So I knew I wanted to do a new series with Rikyava.
Mhm.
And since she was a blood dragon from Sweden, her clan is the Blood Dragons of Norway and Sweden. I
Mhm.
knew it had to be set up in Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Denmark, that sort of area. So that's where all the blood dragons of her clan and a couple other clans live.
Mhm.
So as I started developing this idea, I really drew on ideas like The Witcher. I
Mhm.
had played a lot of The Witcher games, and I really love The Witcher content and the books. And I also drew on the show Vikings, which is immensely popular, and I loved watching that show, and it was great and has that kick-ass character, Lagerta. And so I
Yeah,
sort of had this idea in my head of Rikyava being very similar to Lagerta, except a modern woman.
sure.
And so we have all these characters in this series that are very similar to people that you might meet in the show Vikings. or in The
Mhm.
Witcher, but it's all very modern and, Sweden as it is today,
Sure.
but with all those cool elements.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Magic.
of course.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
Vikings.
Okay, so without giving us spoilers, can
Mhm.
you hint at a scene you're particularly excited for your readers to experience from this book?
Yeah. So the whole ending of this book is just awesome. And I'm so excited for people to read it. I feel like it's probably the best ending I've ever written, which is
Mhm.
saying a lot, but I really do feel that way. I think it just really came together nicely, and the whole thing, hint, hint, foreshadows the rest of the entire series. So that'll be fun for people to puzzle out.
Mhm. I've read it and I'm still puzzling. And reading it, I was like a little sweaty.
Yeah, I won't give any spoilers, but it
Yeah,
is epic.
yeah,
It
that's
is
exciting.
epic.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear what everyone out there is gonna say.
Yay.
Yay.
We'll find
Okay,
out once it releases on launch
yes.
day.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is actually our last question.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so how do you balance action scenes with romantic elements in your storytelling? And would you say that this book has more of one over the other?
So I always strive for predominantly action sequences in the books because I like to keep the pace flowing, and these are adventures mostly. Like mostly what I write is romantic adventure. But I always make sure to have at least like three sexy scenes throughout each book.
Mhm.
These are slow burn romance, so it's not going to be, like a sexy scene every other chapter or something like that. But I always try to have at least one like really hot, like hot, sexy
Yeah,
scene in
door is wide open and
exactly. Yeah, sky's the limit for at least one scene in each book.
yeah.
But I really like to have that have it flow naturally from like the progression of what the characters are going through and how they need to bond their magic closer and making sure that it all works together.
Absolutely.
Instead of just being like, we're just going to throw down randomly. Of course they throw down, but it's for
Oh,
magical
yeah.
reasons. Yeah. So I
Okay.
think this book, I would just say it's more adventurous than some of my other books. Like there is a lot of hot stuff in this book. It is quite scorching as usual for most of my novels, but it has a lot of sort of swashbuckling adventure also,
Mm,
and
yeah.
lots of fight scenes in this
Yeah.
book, which were really, really fun to write, especially dragon fight scenes. So
Yes.
you're going to get a lot of the adventure and the heat in this book instead of like book one was a lot more of the like world building and story building.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
mhm.
this one is action packed and
Yes,
all types of action.
yes, it is full throttle. High octane.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think we answered all our questions and hopefully we'll get more in the comments here. I think,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, just thanks everyone for being
Yeah.
with us. Do you have anything else you want to mention to everyone who tuned in?
I am just so grateful that you guys are all, supportive of this series and the other series that I write. And I really just write for all you guys. I do it for the fans. I love writing this stuff too, but it just really warms my heart when I get comments back from people who are really enjoying the books and see reviews of folks who have really, really liked them and want more. And I intend to keep writing more. So there will be more. And we'll do lots more fun series with dragons and vampires, and I even have some stuff with maybe some gin planned, and maybe something a spin-off with Ray Condrey, wink wink, if you like the Royal Dragon series. So yeah, there's a lot more coming, and I am excited for you guys to be there for all of it.
Mhm. Awesome. Thanks, Ava. This was
Yeah,
fun. We're
thanks,
gonna do this
Sarah.
again, right?
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
it. Yeah, yeah, we should do this for every launch. That'd be really fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time and thanks everybody who joined us.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
guys.
thank
Enjoy
you.
the book.